Guys, welcome back to day 2 of our training. I guess this is going to be lesson number 4, and we're diving straight into the deeper aspect of graphics design now. So I'm going to teach you how to create this flyer. I just worked on this. I just did this design over the night. So I slept very late, almost around 2 o'clock, because I was working on your design, on your lessons. I just did this one yesterday. I just wanted to do something very simple. Do you understand? So I'm going to show you, walk you through the procedures on how to achieve a design like this. First thing first, what is the first thing? First thing I want to teach you is I want to introduce you to how do you, let's say I want to create a design like this. I want to create, this is a design. This design is for a makeup, it's a makeup brand. It's a design for a makeup brand. So let's say a client reached out to me. I want you to do a flyer for me. I'm a makeup artist. I want you to do a flyer for me. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? The first thing that comes to your mind is that you need to get the resources that you will need to do the design. If you look at what I have on my screen now, I have some resources. I have about 4 pictures of ladies here. I have pictures of makeup kits. Do you understand? All of these resources, how do I get them? How do I come about them? Do you understand? And I also have a background here. This is looking like a white background. It's not a white background. There's something there. It's just that I actually decided to use a very simple background because I don't want to start forcing too many things into your head. Because if I start teaching you how to create a background by yourself, at the same time teaching you how to put a design together, it's going to be too much for you to comprehend. Do you understand? So first of all, let's work with a plain background. And mostly, actually, when you are working on designs like this, business flyers like this, maybe you are doing design for someone that sells clothes, someone that sells bag, someone that sells shoe, business flyers generally, you don't need too much of a complex background. Let me compare this. Let me show you. If you want to compare this to a church flyer, let me show you this church flyer. I did this one too yesterday just for the sake of the training. Now, if you look at this, is a church flyer. A whole lot of thing is going on in the background of this church flyer. Do you understand? Very complex stuff are going on in the background here. If you are doing a flyer for a business brand, you don't need too much of these complexities. Do you understand? If you make it too complex, number one, a business flyer used to have too many details on the foreground. If you have a background that is too complicated, at the end of the day, your information on your foreground will not stand out. Do you understand? So for business flyers generally, you need a very simple background. Even if you are going to create a background, even though you are going to do a little bit of manipulation on your background, essentially you need something that is not too busy. So that is why I used a plain background for that design. First thing you want to do is, I want to do a design. First thing you need to do is you must get the correct resources that will represent that design properly. And how do you do that? This is where I'm going to introduce you to the almighty designing app called Pinterest. Now let me show you Pinterest. I don't know, you should have downloaded Pinterest. I asked you to do that. This is the app. If you've downloaded it, you will see it. This is what it looks like. So that's Pinterest. I'm just going to launch it. If I open Pinterest, what the major thing that Pinterest is used for? Every designer use Pinterest, although there are other apps and sites where designers get resources from, you understand, but the most common app that designers use for getting resources is Pinterest. Anything you are looking for in this world, any kind of design, church flyer, social media flyer, business flyer, any kind of design, any kind of resources you are looking for, you will always find it on Pinterest. Follow me, let me introduce you to Pinterest. Once you launch your Pinterest, depending on if you've used it before, if you've not, that's true. I think I'm supposed to show you how to sign in. I think you should be able to do that. But if you have issue with signing in, just let me know. If you are launching the app for the first time, this is not what you are going to find. I think it's going to ask you to sign in. You just enter your email or sign in with your email. God, I can't teach you everything. This class is going to be too long if I should teach you everything. Go and figure out how to sign. I forgot that they used to sign into Pinterest. I will have done that before I started this class. The procedure is not going to be too difficult for you to find your way around. So you just go install Pinterest and then sign in. Once you log in to your Pinterest, depending on what you have done before, if you've not used it before, it's going to be some random stuff that you're going to find on the screen. If you used it before, depending on what your previous search, you are going to find some information on the screen. So, depending on what you are looking for, I'm just going to come to my search button. If you come here, really now, you will find, you used to misbehave like that sometimes. That is the search button. If you select that search button, select your search button, then you type in the search box. I want to create a design for a makeup brand, right? So I'll just type makeup brand design resources. So I'll just search. Once you hit your search, it's going to load up some bunch of stuff for you. You just go over. Pinterest has all kinds of stuff. Just go through the stuff that you are going to be seeing. You must have visualized or pictured the kind of design you want to create so that you know what kind of resources you are looking for. For example, when I wanted to do this design, I knew I needed pictures like this one of this lady. I know I needed pictures like this that shows makeup. So if I like it, I'll just download it. How do I download it? You'll find if you select any resources like that, under it you will find these 3 buttons. So if you tap on those 3 buttons, you will find download image. So you find download image. So if I hit download image, in a matter of seconds it's going to be downloaded to my device. So it has been downloaded to my device. Then I'll keep going. The thing with Pinterest is that just ensure that you get as many resources as possible. Sometimes when you go over to your design app to design, some might not work, some might not really give you what you want. So you just get as many resources as possible. I'm just doing this to show you. Actually, I already got my own resources that I used for the design. It took a while, but I was able to finally found the one that worked perfectly for me. So the thing with Pinterest again is that sometimes it takes time for you to understand how to get good resources. There are a whole bunch of scraps here on the software, right? It's not everything that is here that is useful. With time, you get used to how to search for resources. Meanwhile, when you are some basic things you need to know about Pinterest, especially when you are looking for pictures. Like pictures like this. Let me highlight this one. You see this particular picture now. If you download this picture now, it's really not going to be useful for you, because now if looking at it from here now, the edges of the picture is cut. You really cannot use this. When you remove the background now, it will be almost impossible for you to place it. If you look at the edges, if you look at these edges here, by the time you remove the background now, that place, there's going to be a sharp cut in that place. If you look at this, even this place too, the hand, there's going to be a sharp cut there that is such that it will not be usable. You will not be able to use it properly for your design. If you want to select pictures, choose something like this, and something like this that is very full, that is not the body part is not attached to the edge. You understand? You have, so that it's easy for you to manipulate when you are doing your design. So that's that about this. I don't want this video to be too long, even though I know you may not really be able to avoid that. You can also find things like, you can also find templates. You can find templates here that you can just use, and you can get inspiration from here. You will find design that people had worked on before. One way to also work as a designer is sometimes you need to get inspiration from what other designers have done. Do you understand? It will take you longer time to try to figure out your own way of designing. It's going to take a while before you are able to do that. When you are starting out as a designer, you can just find I'm not saying you should go and copy somebody's design verbatim. Do you understand? But you can just, when you see what somebody has done before, it gives you an idea of something that you can do. Do you understand? You can find templates like this. You can find designs that people have done. So you just download anything downloadable, anything that looks like what can help you. Just download it. Then later you can now filter the ones that works better for you. Once you are satisfied with the resources that you've downloaded, then you can now go back to your phone gallery. Now, so that's the first thing. The first thing to do is to get your resources. Once you get your resources, the next thing you want to do, you notice that if I go to my gallery now, let me go to my gallery. Anything you download anything you download from Pinterest, anything you download from Pinterest. So sorry for that interruption. Once you realize that anything you download from Pinterest, now this is the picture I just downloaded from Pinterest. You can see that it's having a white background. If I import it to PixelLab like that, I cannot use it because of the white background. So for me to be able to use anything I've downloaded from Pinterest, I will need to remove the background that is when I'm going to introduce you to the next app that we are going to be using, which is PhotoRoom. Let me stop this video here. I'm going to continue it in the next episode. So I don't want any single video to be too long, so you can watch it bit by bit. Thank you. I'll see you in the next class.